Hello everyone, Jeff Bogaczyk here, and today I am going to be breaking down an epic speech from the movie Gladiator. This is the Echoes in Eternity speech right before a barbarian battle. And what I want to do is to examine some of the rhetorical and persuasive techniques and elements in this speech that we may be able to have a better understanding of what is being done and the tactics that are being used, and perhaps be able to use some of those similar tactics and learn from this in our own persuasive and motivational and leadership communication. And so what I want to do is just to start watching the movie real quick and then stop and make comments as we go through. So here we go, and enjoy the beginning of this clip.
Strength and honor.
Strength and honor.
Strength and honor.
All right, right from the beginning, just let's set the stage with shared values. So there is a assumed shared value that's important, of course, to the leader. Strength and honor. It is a mantra that Maximus uses, but it's important to recognize that that is regularly communicated, and it is communicated from the leader on to other people on down the chain. Remember, in a military situation, you have this hierarchy of generals and captains and lieutenants and then the regular soldiers. And so everybody in this clip understands that shared value. It is a value that is important to the audience. So the soldiers, they are strong. They are warriors, and strength is important to them. That is something that has been a value for this entire army, as is honor. No one wants to be dishonorable. And so those are two very powerful values, strength and honor, that is communicated in this clip that Maximus then uses to communicate and reiterate our shared values. Hey, we are unified and together in this. Our mission, our purpose, our values communicated just right there in that little 5-second part.
At my signal, unleash hell.
Maximus taking the leadership role here, again, recognizing that we have confidence. So he is confident in what he's doing, communicating his confidence down to the people that are underneath of him. At my signal, unleash hell, meaning we all know by our past experiences that we have the ability to come in and conquer and destroy. And so he is extremely confident, and he communicates that confidence down to his inferiors. Remember, he is taking a very strong leadership position here. He is giving direct orders, starting with shared values, giving a direct order, displaying confidence in exactly what he knows is going to happen because it happened in the past, and instilling that same confidence into the rest of those people who are following him. Notice the leadership notes here, if you can call them that, in this clip. Even the dog follows Maximus, and Maximus displays not only that he is a leader that inspires trust from all of those who follow him, including the dog, but he is a leader that leads from the front, and his soldiers recognize this. He's not a leader that just sits in the back and gives orders or anything like that. He is right out on the front lines giving the charge. This is something that's common that his army understands, and as he's getting ready, they are rising up and preparing, and that is very motivational. Being able to communicate that type of confidence, and I'm not just here telling you what to do. I am in front of you, and I am leading you in the midst of this difficult challenge. Notice the juxtaposition there of Marcus Aurelius, who is the emperor, who is sitting back, kind of like hiding under his cloak in the back of the battle, and Maximus, who is riding to the front to lead the troops. In fact, later on in this movie, there is a moment where Maximus is walking with the emperor and the troops are rising up, and Maximus makes the statement, "Your people honor you," or your army honors you, emperor. And Marcus Aurelius, who was a very great, wise philosopher, recognizes that is not the case. And he says, "They honor you, Maximus." And at that time, Maximus, right after the scene, is able to turn around and receive the adulation and give recognition to his troops. And so Marcus Aurelius recognizes that, but he also displays very carefully that Maximus is the leader. Maximus is the one out in front and leading the troops. We're going to notice a couple of things in this next clip, a couple of different appeals. Number one is a recognition of our shared status, right? I'm going to cheer you on, and then the troops on horseback also respond in that yes, we're here, we're charging with you, we're all together. It's very motivational to see the leader, the general, come into the midst of them. And then let's quickly look at some of the other very specific appeals that he makes in this next, whatever it is, 30-second long speech.
3 weeks from now, I will be harvesting my crops. Imagine where you will be, and it will be so.
Okay, number one is the appeal to a future vision, that future moment of bliss or something that you are looking forward to in the future. There's a present obstacle. We're going into battle, right? We're gonna fight against these barbarians. But imagine what you will be doing in 3 weeks. He gives a very compelling picture. I am going to be harvesting my fields. And then he encourages his troops to imagine what you will be doing. And then there is this also kind of like if you can dream of it, if you can think it, it will become true. It will become possible. That's a common narrative that you hear today, this idea of manifestation. Like if you can think it, if you can believe it, you will make it so. And he utilizes that. That's very persuasive, and that's something that people really want to and like to believe. We like to believe that we have some control over the circumstances in our life, and that if we can imagine, if we can dream, if we can think it, we can manifest it into existence. That's something that's very popular and very powerful. And so he utilizes something that is already resonating in the minds and hearts of his audience, that you can imagine a future, you can see something beyond this present momentary obstacle and conflict and battle. And if you can imagine that and create a very specific image of that, you will make it so, and it will become what actually happens to you. Notwithstanding, you're going through a battle, and many of these people are going to get slaughtered, even though they did imagine a beautiful field or whatever their existence might be down the road. But at the beginning of it, you're in a persuasive element trying to take the focus off of the fear and what could potentially happen in this battle, and really focusing on a future vision, a compelling future vision of what could be down the road, and it will be if you would only imagine it.
Hold the line. Stay with me. If you find yourself alone, riding in green fields with the sun on your face, do not be troubled. For you are in Elysium, and you're already dead!
Here's another appeal to a very compelling, already shared belief, the belief that life after death is a beautiful picture. Imagine Elysium. If you find yourself riding through green pastures and sunlit mountains, or whatever he says, then fear not, you are in paradise and you are already dead. And so it's a very macho type of thing to make light of death and make light of injury when you're going into a battle, and to take the mind and the attention to inspire courage on behalf of the troops. And so one of the things that people will use is this imagination of a future paradise that will happen to you if you die. And the troops respond by laughing at that. And that is common, especially when you're facing danger and you're getting ready to be slaughtered. You're potentially going to get a sword thrust through you, or your arm hacked off, or whatever's going to happen in the battle. So to be able to appeal to this, get beyond the pain of this temporary mortal existence and look forward to a paradise. So recognize what? Let's look forward to a future of what you might be doing in 3 weeks. Number 2, if that's not the case, you will be sitting in paradise. And so imagine that, and we make light of death. And then here comes the third one.
Brothers, what we do in life echoes in eternity.
So there is the third one. What we do in life echoes in eternity. And that is an appeal to a meaningful, significant existence. That you are not just here to be nothing. You are not here just to be a gnat that has been destroyed, a insignificant peon in the annals of all time and history, but that what you are doing here in this battle leaves a legacy for all of eternity. It is a call to something higher than yourself, a call to legacy, a call to making history, a call to impacting the entire future. What we do in life echoes in eternity. And so when you are called to something greater than yourself, a purpose that is greater than yourself, people respond to that. And that is something that is significant. It is one of the higher levels of needs that people have, to be significant, to be somebody, to be meaningful, to do something important. And so he is calling them to that in this battle. What we do here in life makes a difference in eternity. Is a persuasive element. And so you see throughout this little 1 minute long speech, 3 elements of persuasion and 3 appeals. The call to a specific vision beyond the momentary obstacle, a call to a specific vision of, you're going to be in paradise beyond the momentary existence of this life, mortality, and then a call to a purpose that is higher than yourself, that you will impact history by being a part of this. And so those are all very meaningful things that are persuasive for people. So what is important, I think, and we can learn about this, and you can take this into your leadership, persuasive communication, is it must be audience-centered. So all of this is geared to, again, soldiers on a battlefield who are facing a very specific challenge and obstacle. I'm going to die, the fear of death. And so how do we create appeals and overcome and give people inspiration and motivation and courage in the fear of this very, very difficult challenge? And so what we can take from it are the appeals to some of the higher level things in someone's life, a vision of a very nice and beautiful future beyond the momentary. What will you be doing in 2 weeks? And a very specific, notice the very specific language that he uses. He paints a picture that is specific. I will be harvesting my fields. And then something beyond temporality, the next level up, is something beyond this short existence that we have here, and that you will be in paradise someday if you just do well in this battle. And then the third one is to impact history. And so leaders have used these same appeals throughout time. And here is an incredible example where we see that in just a short 1-minute speech. So learn those lessons, utilize those same tactics if you need to, but also do it with integrity. It's important to do that and to be persuasive with integrity instead of just using language and using appeals and appealing to the emotions to manipulate people and get them to do what you want. Final thing on this: 3 aspects of persuasion that come from Aristotle. There is the logos, which is a logical, fact-based, statistic-based argument that you make to persuade someone. We don't see any of that here. Second is ethos, the character of the person giving the speech. We see that extremely represented here in the leadership capabilities of Maximus, right? He is a magnetic, charismatic, trusted, and respected leader. He has communicated the shared values and vision. Those are his values, and they're important, and people have adopted them. So his character gives him a lot of credibility when he's coming in to be persuasive. And the third one is the appeal to the emotions. And so the creation of narratives and stories and using picturesque language to overcome the obstacles and create a compelling and a motivational future that inspires people to walk through the fire and do what we all need to do together. Because remember, it's not just what you need to do because I told you, because he is there as a leader in front of them all. And so hope this has been beneficial for you. Love doing it, and we will do more of these rhetorical examinations and breakdowns of speeches and leadership communication and persuasive communication in the future. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.